In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro delves into the current political landscape, focusing on the tight race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump as they approach the upcoming presidential election. Despite weeks of positive media coverage for Harris, recent polling indicates that she is in a dead heat with Trump, with both candidates showing slight leads in various battleground states. The discussion highlights the implications of these polling numbers, particularly in key states like Pennsylvania, which is viewed as a critical battleground for the election. Recent polls, including a CNN SSRS poll, suggest that Harris has a slight edge over Trump in states like Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Wisconsin, but these leads are within the margin of error. The Real Clear Politics polling average shows similar trends, indicating that while Harris has some momentum, the race remains extremely competitive. Shapiro emphasizes that Harris's campaign has not gained significant traction since the Democratic National Convention, and her selection of Tim Walz as a running mate is criticized as a poor choice that may be hurting her campaign. As the first debate approaches, Shapiro discusses the debate rules, including muted microphones and no audience, which may benefit Trump by allowing him to appear more composed. Shapiro argues that Harris's campaign is built on portraying Trump as erratic, and if he can maintain his composure during the debate, it could shift the narrative in his favor. He suggests that Trump should focus on Harris's record and policy flip-flops to undermine her credibility. The podcast also touches on the media's role in shaping public perception of candidates. Shapiro argues that the media has largely ignored strong Republican candidates while simultaneously downplaying the weaknesses of Democratic candidates. This lack of visibility for both parties' candidates is seen as detrimental to informed voter decision-making. The discussion shifts to Harris's campaign strategies, including her attempts to distance herself from Biden's policies while still being tied to his administration. Shapiro points out that Harris's recent ad featuring her walking next to Trump's border wall is a stark contradiction to her previous criticisms of it. This inconsistency raises questions about her authenticity and ability to connect with voters. He also critiques her handling of immigration and border security, noting that illegal immigration has surged under Biden's administration. As the conversation progresses, Shapiro introduces the topic of Russiagate II, where the Biden administration is reportedly preparing to accuse Russia of attempting to influence the 2024 presidential election. Shapiro argues that this narrative serves as a convenient excuse for the Democrats, suggesting that any negative stories about Harris could be dismissed as Russian disinformation. The podcast highlights the irony of the situation, as the Biden administration's focus on Russian interference contrasts with their lack of attention to other foreign influences, such as China. Shapiro concludes by emphasizing that the political landscape is fraught with challenges for both parties. Harris's inability to distance herself from Biden's unpopular policies, combined with the potential fallout from the allegations against conservative media, creates a complex environment as the election approaches. The podcast underscores the importance of informed voter engagement and the need for candidates to present clear, consistent policies to win over the electorate.